Welcome to Ticker Talk with hosts Max and Kate, podcasting from Treetown in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ticker Talk shares the everyday success stories and science behind the heart rate-based functional aerobic fitness training practiced at CrossFit Treetown. Max and Kate explore the research, science, and practical experiences behind Ticker Training, a program developed by Max for just about everyone, your grandma, your cousin who runs marathons, and you. In this series, we'll explore what exactly heart rate-based functional aerobic fitness is, how what you eat affects how you move and how you feel, what tools to use in tracking progress, and how to fit training into your everyday life. Join us and learn something new to make a healthier you. Pace yourself.
Action.
Welcome to the Ticker Studio.
Welcome.
Kate and Max in studio today. We're going to do kind of a free-form, old-school style podcast where we're just going to chat about some stuff.
So by that, you mean we don't actually have a plan?
Nope.
And we're just going to
We used to do some really good things without plans.
We're just going to start talking?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, boy.
So this should start out with the general statement that we don't necessarily even have to get into yet, but where's the end of fitness? When are you fit?
Oh, yeah. So what you're wondering is, when can we stop all of this?
When do we win? What do we get when we win?
Oh, boy, that's a tough question.
So a member brought this up one day, and she goes, I hate to break it to you, but there is no end to fitness. And it kind of rung true to me in the way that Ticker Training works. So our whole goal is long-term sustainable fitness for life.
Right.
Which kind of shoots a hole in the whole thing where eventually I'm going to win.
I see where you're going with this. Okay.
Right. So it's a mindset thing that I don't know that necessarily everyone holds.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, like the world in
Right.
general.
Well, that usually comes from always having to have, like, you fitness or you keep in shape for some type of ultimate goal or like some kind of competition or something like that where you have a reason to be fit or a reason to come to the gym or a reason to go for a run or something like that other than just being overall healthy and happy and fit.
I mean, the way that I've forever used fitness because of my background in dance and cycling, there was never really, I mean, I guess I could have been competitive in cycling had I been better, but I never did it to win anyway. So this really kind of got me that people would think that there's a winner at the end.
I see. Yeah, well, it always has to be a winner.
Right. So let's kind of put that back into how Ticker works, right? So you're coming into the gym, and CrossFit definitely, previously, in a lot of places, currently, has a winner.
Right, with a whiteboard.
You've got a whiteboard, you've got something. I coached today's class, and we had thrusters, and I pointed to the weight on there, and I'm like, there's an RX weight, but I'm going to break it to you guys that I don't have prizes for you for doing the RX weight.
Right. No, that RX weight was thrown up there essentially to challenge our strongest athletes.
Sure.
To be able to maintain their aerobic workload.
And I watched some people put the RX weight on, and some people kind of register that, you're in there doing fitness for yourself today.
Right. It's the kind of thing where this fitness and this opportunity to come in and do CrossFit or Ticker or however you want to talk about it, it should be fun.
Right. So we dance around that, we say this is still CrossFit. This is still, this is not CrossFit Light. You're not just coming in here and riding the assault bike for an hour. There we go. We've made you aerobic. You're still doing, today it's thrusters and rowing.
Right.
Now, taking the mindset out of that you're not going to win, who cares?
Right.
But who cares on both sides? Like, why do I care if I'm not going to win anything?
Well, it is funny that, people get frustrated with not being able to be faster aerobically or their heart rate's all over the place or something like that. It's a funny thing to think that you can have trained only anaerobically for the last 3 or 4 years. And then now when you're challenged, to do something aerobically that, like, well, why is this hard? Why can't I keep my heart rate down? It's a funny thing to see that you think you're supposed to just be good at this when you've never practiced it.
It's harder to win something easy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's very challenging for some people to win something that seems like it's so easy.
Right. Well, for some people, this is very easy.
Right.
Some people, they get to go really fast still. They've earned the right to be able to do that because of their strength or because of their time spent doing something aerobic, or they haven't destroyed their bodies through poor diet, poor sleep, overstress.
Right. So I had a member say that how much they love these tests. So we've been doing a fair amount of tests with Ticker the past couple weeks. You know, we've had muscular endurance, lactic endurance. And they love having that opportunity to go all out. That's what I like on CrossFit. I like working my day's work and going to the gym and dying on the floor. Mm-hmm. When am I going to be able to be efficient at that? I realized like that was something that didn't occur to me, that, you know, they're waiting until they can win Ticker to go back to killing themselves every day, but then just being efficient at it.
Well, in all fairness and in reality, if they get really, really good at being aerobic, they can go back to beating themselves up every day.
Right.
If they really, really want to. I don't know why you would, but because you're really only doing damage metabolically and to your health, it's not good long term.
Right.
So, I mean,
I take that same athlete and I look at, you know, we just had a visitor come through the gym and he said that the programming, you know, in the town that he's from and the gym he goes to is making it really hard for him to go every day. And he's like, mentally, I want to go into the gym every day.
Sure.
Now, I'm sure his gym's like, all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, look, you're sweating and you're laying on the floor. Good job. See you tomorrow.
Right. Well, and that's the culture that's been created over time. And, you know, hopefully, I mean, that's kind of the mindset that we're starting to change with Ticker is.
And he's even seeing it. I mean, he doesn't live near a Ticker gym. So he's even seeing it that I want to be able to do this forever. I want to be able to go into the gym and I don't feel like it. I don't feel good.
Well, it's because it's not sustainable.
Right.
You know, like you have to be really, really resilient and really, really dedicated to go in and want to throw yourself on the floor at the end every day for years on end.
Right.
And, you know, that's one mindset that needs to get changed. But there's also, you kind of started this whole thing with when do you win fitness? Well, I don't know. I think maybe you end up losing fitness.
Were you winning?
Well, I mean, the only end to all of this really is, you know, when you die, right?
You win.
You know,
there's your prize. Spoiler alert.
But here's the other thing: is everybody thinks that their fitness or they're always going to be on a trajectory of getting better constantly, and so it's like you do a test and you weren't better than last time. Well, this isn't working. Well, what's not working about it? You know, have you really actually taken the time to look at your life and have you made other changes other than just this slowing down?
Did you study for the test?
Yeah. Well, did you start sleeping better? Did you start eating better? Or have you added a whole bunch of other stress? Like I've kind of alluded this in the past. All of my aerobic numbers currently are really down, but I've never traveled like this in my life. I've never had this much stuff going on. I have a 2-year-old that is attached to me like a leech, which is awesome, but you know, I don't sleep like I was.
Right.
And, you know, if I wasn't aware of what is going on, I could get frustrated that my performance is going down. Let's also bring the attention to the fact that I'm not training like I was. Right. You know, it's just where I am right now. Mm-hmm. And if people can understand this thing, and of course we feel this way, but maybe not everybody does. We feel like this is a gift that we have exposed them to, because prior to this, if you were really bad at this, kind of like I am. I'm not good at this aerobic work. It is an opportunity to see where you are lacking, and it's very glaring. So if you are slow at this, I'm sorry that we found a hole that you need to fix, but you are welcome.
Right.
And you can either be frustrated by it and have this mindset of I suck and blah, 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 or you can just say, sweet, I get to slow down, and every minute that I spend in my training zones, I am spending time getting healthier and one day leading to me performing better. Even though like right now I'm slow aerobically, when I test, I'm as fast as I ever was. You know what I mean? And I'm not broken, sore, I jump out of bed. You know what I mean? All of these other parameters are good. So let's just take, for example, we do a 5K aerobic test and we're worse the next time we do it. I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, right?
Okay.
A couple things might be going on there. You might need a new test, right? A new Pnoe test. You might be adapted. Or, maybe you slept poorly.
Maybe you didn't realize you slept poorly.
Right. Maybe.
If you sleep with someone else, have you ever had like your wife tell you like you didn't sleep at all last night, even though you remember? I mean, it's another way to see into something.
But that's an easy solution. But also maybe the first time you did the test or the last time you did the test, you cheated. You didn't really listen to your heart rate that well. You didn't do as good of a job following along, because when you first start doing this, it's not easy. So, and I just watched a little thing from Pnoe's metabolic analysis teaching that they do. And they were discussing something that we kind of innately know or have seen, but people, they go through this alarm phase where they actually get worse metabolically. And that's a really important time to not overreach and overstretch and overtrain, because you're very susceptible at that point to overwork and make metabolic changes for the worst.
Right.
Those are the times where you need to be the most patient and understand that is when your body is resetting.
Well, your body's going to reach homeostasis. It's going to seek homeostasis.
Yeah.
So it's going to do everything it can.
Yeah, and it's going to adapt to the stress that you apply. So if you continue to be frustrated and irritated and your mindset is that this isn't working, guess what?
It's not working.
You know what I mean? You have to be patient through this stuff, and you got to understand it's greener on the other side. It just takes a little bit of patience. And
there's stress, that we can choose to apply, and then there is stress that we don't choose to apply. You're kind of alluding to that if you don't PR. I mean, if I think about it, do I PR my back squat every time I back squat?
Right.
No. And, if I don't PR my back squat, I can make excuses, or it can be like, if you think about the excuses you make, well,
sure.
Oh, I haven't been doing this, or, oh, I haven't been doing that, or same idea as PRing anything aerobic.
Well, all of it, the coolest thing about Ticker is that we can actually analyze it and we can see why.
Right.
And we can then make appropriate changes to help you get better. As opposed to before, like, oh, I just wasn't doing enough. I need to work harder. I need to back squat more. Maybe, but let's actually like look at it and have a conversation around it instead of just being like.
When we look at those tests, I can see the point where you're aerobic. I can see the point where you feel like you're doing good things. Usually that's using, equal oxygen to carbon dioxide out, breathing, in and out fast, not, breathing easy. So using 2 fuel sources. And then I can see the other side of that, where you're using just carbs for energy. And being able to see that point and to see the adaptations that are made after that point. Because sometimes you pull a little bit of fat even at a really high heart rate.
Yeah.
Because if you spend enough time there, your body's going to figure out how to make it efficient.
Or if you eat mostly fat for fuel.
Right. But being able to pinpoint and see that stressor point makes it that much faster if we can manipulate it so that you can learn to be more flexible in a faster manner.
Right. And that's kind of the magic of all this stuff.
Right.
We're actually just, with this, you're not just spinning your wheels. There's an opportunity to see what's going on. Oh, cool. All right, let's let's try this change first. Let's slow down or speed up, whichever one it is.
Right.
At your heart rate.
Right.
Okay, did that work? Yeah, I had a little adaptation. Cool. All right, now let's try to add a little bit more fat to our diet, cut back on some of the refined carbohydrates. Did that work? Yep, it did. Cool. What's next? Oh, let's talk about your sleep. Okay, I'm getting about 4 hours. That's not much sleep. Maybe we should add some more. Try 6 hours. Did that make an impact? Yep, did. Cool.
Yeah.
And all of this is it's simple, right? But it's not necessarily.
It's simple if we lived in a vacuum.
Yeah.
If you lived in a tunnel where you could just, do all this stuff. But that's our whole point coming back around is that we have outside stressors.
Right.
We have lives. We have,
Right. That's the beauty of this. That's what people need to make sure we get across is that things change, our bodies change, stress changes. So let's just recognize that not every day are we going to be at our best, right?
We're not going to win every day.
Or just every day we're going to be better than we were yesterday. It just doesn't work like that all the time. How do we make sure that we're getting better all the time? Manage all of our stress.
Right.
Good luck.
Right.
We are, if you're an athlete or 90% of your life is revolved around getting to the gym and performing well, you will continue to get better forever. And you won't have little dips and valleys if you focus. But when you have other things going on in your life that you may or may not have control over.
We redid CrossFit Open workout last week from 2013. Mm-hmm. And you saying, if you're an athlete, like a professional athlete, and I think about, we're getting into open season now where we are going to see these professional athletes. It's what those CrossFit, the people we see on TV are.
Sure.
They have teams of people helping with their profession.
Mm-hmm.
Our athletes did that, and one of them went online and compared their score to where those professional athletes now were. And the one guy was like, I don't know, top 10. And he's like, great for me, but I know that all those top 10 people are like now above and beyond because and he even said it himself, right? He was like, they've continued to grow just like me.
Sure.
It's ever evolving. They're still working out. They're still getting
All he
better.
needed was a time machine.
Right?
Could have gone to the games.
But even, Meryl, our resident games athlete, has said back then when she did that workout, she said it involved snatching. And she's like, that snatch for me was light at that time, but that was rare that, I was really strong.
Right.
And she's like, it doesn't matter because the burpees were bad. And she goes, now they're all that strong and burpees are still bad for me. So now it's not a great workout anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
But it goes on through, that was from 2013, and we're now in the 2019 games, looking at the evolution. That's a big span of time for these people to get better, and we're talking minutes, seconds?
Yeah.
Not an astronomical amount of they did it an hour faster. I mean, we're talking putting in a lot of effort, doing the same movements over many, 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 many years and getting better.
Well, if you think about what's amazing now is this athlete that I know you're talking about, he pretty much just does ticker. Yeah. He doesn't do a whole bunch of extra stuff outside, does a little bit of our competitor track. Yeah. But if you think about just what that means in general for the average CrossFitter now compared to the average CrossFitter in 2013.
Yeah.
Let's get this back in perspective.
He didn't do CrossFit in 2013. Right. This was not a repeat workout for him. This was something he wanted to do to see how he stacked up against people in 2013.
And now he's a top 200 regional athlete, right? Great. That's a great thing to be that person. But it's all relative to, this person is really, really fit. Mm-hmm. And are we going to define our own happiness and our own fitness and health on a 5-week series that we're doing in gyms with judges? You know what I mean?
But that's my point, is it's been many years to retest the same thing. These people didn't get and win in 5 weeks. Right. We're talking it's winning over the course of years.
5 years.
So it comes back into this mindset of where's the end of fitness? Well, right there we show it's not
he could be
so
done.
many years.
He could be done.
He's won. The end. Number 4.
Right.
But when do you stop having to try and train? Never.
Yeah.
I mean, when you want to.
When
I
it's
guess.
not fun to you anymore, I guess, or you don't care about your health. I don't know.
Right. But
Yeah.
having the mindset that you're in it for the long term and not just the long term of like, this year.
Well, it kind of gets back to what's your why. Why are you doing this?
Right.
Why are you coming to this? Why are you coming to your CrossFit gym?
Most people, when I asked,
Mm-hmm.
most people said it was for like their own head,
Sure.
They want to come in here, stress relief, the community,
Yep.
to do something for them to better themselves.
Yep, great. Well, I'm not going to provide an environment that's going to be worse and more stress for them, even if they think they don't need to slow down.
Why would you choose to come in for stress relief and hurt yourself so much that the rest of your life suffers?
Some of us really hate ourselves.
That is true. I mean, there is that. Maybe you don't think that that's what it is that's doing it.
Yeah, well, you've been taught you have to earn your fitness, or you get a lot of value for yourself from being able to win the day, or to just punishing ourselves has been something that has been ingrained in many of us. It's a very difficult. I can get it.
I talked to a group of our competitive athletes here.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if you were going to go and talk to somebody about the benefits of Ticker,
Mm-hmm.
and our competitive athletes are the ones that they've embraced it. They do it.
But not necessarily from the start.
No, and they're not necessarily, the ones that you idealize on the board with the heart rates. Sometimes they forget their heart rate monitors kind
Sure.
of thing, right?
Yep.
And they're like, oh, well, can definitely do more. I love being able to do so much more. Yeah, I guess I feel better all the time too, and I feel better I'm doing more, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to all these tests because then I want to see if I'm actually better. I'm like, but you just said you feel better and you can do more and you're lifting heavier and your goals have changed to goals that you didn't think were possible a year ago.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm okay if they're comparing themselves to themselves.
A year ago.
Sure.
Yeah, when they're saying, well, I am definitely stronger. I just want to see.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how many people actually do the Open this year.
Yeah.
Because it seems to have lost some luster with the changes. So maybe lots of people are going to do lots better in their region and, have, who knows? But those are all the problems with comparing yourself to others for your self-worth and your...
And there are a lot of people
your
that do the
gains.
Open just to compare themselves to themselves past. People that do it over and over and over every year.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, most of the Open workouts are great workouts.
Yeah.
They're well put together.
Yeah, it can be.
They can be.
If you're skilled and enough and all of that kind of stuff.
And you do them in a way that's appropriate for you.
Sure. It can be good training.
So it'll be interesting to see that as well.
Yep.
We'll see who wins.
So what's our takeaway? You started this thing with winning, or when is fitness over?
Right.
What was kind of like...
In a roundabout way, it's all in the mindset. I guess fitness is... Your winning mindset is...
I guess the one thing that I want to take away from this talk, or for people to take away from this talk, is that, have some fun with this. Like, understand that your body is trying to figure some stuff out. And if you're not willing to be patient and make changes and apply different stress at different times, you're going to get frustrated.
Right, because you're not going to win daily, monthly. We're in it for the long term, years.
And you might be surprised by this, but when I design workouts, they're meant to challenge people.
Sure.
And
you say people. It's not meant to challenge the same person. I think about the
No.
same way when I put workouts through.
no, it's meant to challenge and stretch people's aerobic ability. That's what's going to make the changes.
Right.
So.
All right.
All right, Kate. Hopefully there's something of value for people out there that we
Well,
just
I'm
talked
not
about.
winning anymore, so I don't know about this.
We just won the day. All right.